My name is Lori Reed, and I'm an artist working in Peoria, Illinois. I went to Illinois Wesleyan for 2 years in fine arts, and then I transitioned into graphic design at the University of Illinois, where I got a BFA. I've been doing my own graphic design business for over 30 years, and I've been doing mixed media work for about 15 years. The work will be nature influenced, so that is what really inspires me, is being out in nature, taking hikes. I usually take my camera or my phone and photograph as I'm walking with an idea of some of this might end up in my artwork. So I'll take an interesting angle, get down on my knees to get grass in the foreground and what I'm really interested in the background, and nature really is at the base of everything, I think, that inspires me. The method that I have for making art came from an experiment where I put some of my photographic prints through a paper shredder, giving me the idea to work with strips of imagery. So I'll take 3 variations of a photo that I've run filters on digitally. I print those out, cut them into these 1/4-inch strips, and start building the scene from that, layering it up, 2-3 layers, adding in some art papers or ledger paper, and trying to abstract the scene a little bit, interrupt it, and make it more than that original photograph was. I think my experience in taking 3 photography classes in college, being a graphic designer my whole life, has made certain parts of my art making things I don't even think about, that I don't have to think about how to frame a shot. That was already ingrained in me. And the years of doing Photoshop made it easy for me to transition into manipulating my photos to be more than the original photo. And even though that working in with strips of imagery, many people say, "Oh my gosh, that looks so time consuming," or "Are you obsessive compulsive?" I think it comes out of that graphic designer where everything needs to be precise and lined up, and that's an easy thing for me to do, and interesting to be making art in that way. When I try to describe my art making process, I tell people I think of it as digital impressionism, that I'm abstracting, modifying the nature that I see, like the Impressionists did with dots of paint, or breaking down things into their color families, that I am digitally working to abstract, make it more of an impression of that place, rather than the original photo is an exact documentation of that place at that time. But when I finish with my artwork, I've moved it into more of an impression of the place, more of a memory of that experience that is more timeless, and hopefully invites the viewer in to experience that space in nature as a place they can enter and is evocative for them. I like that the imagery can invite people in and be kind of a nostalgia for them sometimes, or thinking of, my experience of that place I traveled to, whether it was Cinque Terre in Italy or if it's Yellowstone. And one person told me it's interesting how you take your photograph and then destroy it to make the new piece of art by cutting it up. But it is like coming home from a trip, and you have different ticket stubs and postcards and photographs, and you kind of reassemble your memories of that place and that experience. And through this artwork, I think I'm kind of doing that with my memory, and then sharing that with the viewer. I lived here in Bloomington for 4 years, and just recently moved to Peoria, and came to a lot of the openings here, and find the community to be very supportive of the arts, and am excited to be able to exhibit here. I've been part of the holiday showcase before, but it will be fun to have a number of my pieces hanging in the show together.